So Super Robot Wars 30 changed how the full custom upgrade bonus system works, removing a few options and adding the ability to gain 1 bonus per 5 upgrade levels starting from 10. In total, you can have 3 full custom upgrade bonuses, and some are worse than others. In previous games, the only option I ever chose for these units is the extra power part slot, because any of the bonuses had an equal or better power part you could use instead. In this video, I'll be ranking these from worst to best, 8th to 1st place, with a couple of exceptions that I'll highlight. These are my personal opinion, and honestly they aren't so impactful that you'll be in a bad spot if you choose the wrong one, so keep that in mind. With all that said, let's get into it. In 8th place we have Effect Resistance, which gives armor, mobility, sight, energy down immunity. Not only are these status debuffs rare in attacks, but also just aren't that scary. None of them give enough of an impact to really mess up a unit, especially ones that are upgraded. The worst status effect in Super Robot Wars is the one that stuns a unit for 1 turn, and this doesn't even protect against that, it's just general stat reductions. The stun is also even rarer, and all you have to do to avoid it is use a dodge spirit, which you can also use if you don't want to get hit by any of these debuff attacks. I don't recommend this one under any circumstance. Coming up in 7th place we have Mag Capacity Up, and units without ammo-based attacks just can't get it, period. This is most useful for units with only ammo-based attacks, and those are incredibly rare. Not to mention a lot of units that do have ammo attacks, it's usually the weaker attacks in their list. This one would be much better if it was like B-Save skill, giving you 50% or even doubling your ammo capacity. But with just 1 per attack, you're better off using Hyper Reloader and picking up another custom bonus. In 6th place we got Endurance Up, which gives plus 1500 HP and plus 100 energy. If you're casually playing through the game and are utilizing upgrades on the AOS system, this bonus isn't that useful in my opinion. You can just use HP and energy parts to get arguably better or equal effects, like Bionic Armor, which gives plus 1500 HP, plus 300 armor, and restores 10% of health and energy at the start of your turn. Only slightly better than Effect Resistance and Mag Capacity, but still not great. In 5th place we have Defense Energy Cost Down. Honestly, the only unit I would really consider getting this for is the Gekkoe Sui. Most of the barrier costs for your units are 5 or 10 energy each, which isn't too much. The absolute defense system the Gekkoe has drains 30 energy, but nullifies any damage under 4000, which is quite a lot. It basically functions as an AT field. Given you have 3 options at a full 20 slot upgrade, this isn't terrible for most barrier using units, like Galgaigar or Code Geass ones, but I'd consider it mostly for the Gekkoe. For 4th place we got Range Up. Not much to say about this one. 1 more range to all non-map and non-range 1 attacks. Obviously more useful for units that actually have decent ranged attacks that aren't post-movement, which makes it a bit more situational than say number 3 on the list. Now, these next 3 are ones I give to every unit in general, regardless of type. As stated at the beginning of the video, these bonuses aren't so important that it'll cripple a unit if you don't grab any specific one. So the top 3 here are my globally useful options, with the exception of one that I'll get into. 3rd place goes to Mobility Up. Plus 1 move is good all around, but I'd say it's a toss-up with Range Up for units that are essentially snipers. Movement is globally useful, so it's higher on the list. Preemptive Strike, Mobility Up, and the AOS system movement bonuses allow your units to travel halfway across the map first turn, which is really strong. In addition, with all this movement, plus hitting away, your units can bail on a bad situation pretty easily without fear of getting chased, since most units that aren't bosses or have double or triple action won't be able to. Time for 2nd place, and that's Weapon Energy Cost Down. Reduces energy consumption of attacks by 10%. This, as far as I know, stacks with energy cost down items, and in some cases makes certain attacks cost nothing, though it's usually the weakest ones. In the meta of abusing multi-action, this is very important for most units, as you want to spam attacks as much as you can. And in the case of one-shotting units, your stronger ones. The only time I don't grab this is when the unit I'm upgrading only has ammo-based attacks, which I'll just grab Mag Capacity Up or Range Up. And with using your attack so often comes number 1. Terrain-Adaptivity-Up is number 1 because it's the only one of the bonuses that gives most of your units 10% more damage in pretty much all cases, improving all terrain adaptivities by 1 rank. Some units will have an S rank in space, but not in air or ground, or vice versa. And most units don't have an S rank in any terrain. This can also save a part slot on your first playthrough since you're down 1. Use that extra part slot for something else, like 10% more damage parts or something. Damage is king. And that's my ranking for each full custom bonus. As stated earlier, the top 3 on the list are the ones I grab on every unit, with a few exceptions. It caters more towards an aggressive playstyle, opting to get in the fight and beat things down as hard and fast as possible. In a casual playthrough where you don't care much about difficulty, and kinda wanna just get through the game, these are what I recommend. Let me know what you think of the ranking, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If there's any other kind of ranking you'd like me to do in the future, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.